Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakar Kadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, the great millstone, pushing this word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, pushing this word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. I'm going to say Shabbat Shalom to y'all out there. And this is another news article, another update of more news of prophecies of, these nations are gearing up, preparing and training for war, because we are entering in those times. Even if they do these exercise trainings, these joint exercise trainings with allies to further increase their military training in preparation for World War III, because we're entering in those times. And this is a news article for In the News on July the 6th, 2022 at 12:50 p.m. Central Standard Time. And this news article from ArabNews.com, alternative world news around the world. And the highlight of this news article, and it reads from ArabNews.com, and it says, Egyptians and U.S. forces carry out joint training exercise. The Air Force of the U.S. and Egypt have carried out a joint training exercise at a base in North African country. The exercise involved a series of lectures on unifying combat concepts. It says the Air Forces of the United States and Egypt have carried out a joint training exercise at a base in North African country, strengthening military cooperation between the two countries. And the Egyptian military spokesperson announced that the exercise involved a series of lectures of unifying combat concept, exchanging training experience, saw a number of multitask combat aircraft deployed by the U.S. Air Forces and Egyptian Air Forces for training flights and operational missions and mid-air refueling in the air, both during the day and at night. The training flights demonstrates the intent to which the Egyptian Air Forces had reached a high level of professionalism that qualified its fighter pilots to carry out all tasks and trust them. The exercise come in the light of the growing partnership and military cooperation between Cairo and Washington. Might get a oh, that's not recent. So that's all you've been seeing throughout the whole year of 2022 of these from last year of 2021 all the way to the year 2022. As I mentioned once again in my previous videos, that's all you've been seeing, these nations doing these military exercise drills, these military simulation attack type drills as well too, and full exercise military training. And it's going to increase even more and more and more, because these are preparations and steps of getting close to World War III. So I'm not really going to bring out a scripture. This is basically around the clock of news updates of the times that we're heading into, of these nations preparing for war. Matter of fact, I might as well bring out a scripture. Because there is going to be war in the valley of Jehoshaphat. Yahweh Shaphat, Yahweh's decision. Because you're already seeing tensions being increased in the Middle East. You know, the clashes between Israelis and the Palestinians, tensions in Yemen. Either they trying to continue with their trust peace deal between both sides. Seem like that's up in the air at a standstill. They got continuing operations going on over there, counter strikes against one another. You know, you got tensions between Lebanon and the Syrian border and the Israel border as well too. You know, Hezbollah flying drones near this Israel border or close to Lebanon. Airstrikes going on both sides of there. So he's seeing a lot of tension, and it's increasing. And these tensions are going to increase more and more and more. Even though times it might cool down, but tensions in the Middle East is going to further increase even more and more. That's why you're going to see a lot of training over there, even if with their allies. You know, you're going to have financial protest clashes in Lebanon and different parts of the world as well too. So you're going to have many different types of things that's going on, you know, in relation to with the war, you know. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9. Proclaim thee this amongst the Gentiles, which is the other nations. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty man. Let all the men draw war. And let them come up. And this is the book of Joel 3, verse 10. Beat your plowshares into swords and the plenty hooks. And let the weak say I'm strong. Right. That's what you see in these nations doing their military exercise drills, even if they're doing it with their allies, you know. They're even if they're doing it by themselves. That's why I mentioned before, not too long ago, with Iran getting simulations attacked by Israel far as a military training, military simulation type training to prepare for attack against Iran, and that's what Israel is doing, because they still look at Iran as a threat, you know. So that's why Iran still contemplating attempting to the United States. Do not make a deal with them. If they do make a deal, they still cannot trust Iran with the nuclear arsenal, uranium developing of nuclear bomb capabilities. So these are the signs we are seeing as we bring out these videos of prophecies are definitely being fulfilled, and we are seeing it in these last days, you know. So expect to see more of increase of these military exercise drills as the nations are consistently gearing up, preparing for war, because that's what we've been all seeing through the whole year of 2022, because Yahweh Shem Shai is turning things up, you know, because these are biblical prophecies that we are currently living in, you know. And I expect to see Iran and Israel, those tensions gonna increase even more than ever, you know. Then I previously did a video not too long ago about South Korea and North Korea. You know, their relationship is kind of, you know, not so good at the moment, because, you know, they talking about, South Korea talking about military retaliation, you know. So yeah, you know, these nations arise against nations are definitely increasing in different kingdoms as well too. So let's believe the tensions in the Middle East is gonna escalate and it's gonna continue to increase as well too. That's why I brought out Joel 3 and 9 and Joel 3 and 10 as well too. Because now you're starting to see these nations starting to show their military capability, you know. And these nations are not afraid of modern day Babylon, you know. The Babylon, modern day Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, is not the big bully of the nations no more, you know. And you never know, these nations might turn on modern day Babylon as well too, because these nations might be allies with modern day Babylon, but they're gonna turn their backs against them as well too, especially once we get into these nations gonna gather all together in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, which is in the Valley of Decision in the Middle East. Yahweh's decision, Yahweh's Valley of Decision. And that's in the Middle East. And that's gonna increase even more and more because we are seeing definitely signs, more and more signs of that is getting close to that. But it's not going to be like right away, but it's going to take time, and we're definitely seeing that increase in the Middle East, because it's not going to be no peace in the Middle East, because we're seeing these tensions escalate even more than before, in the last days, So with that, I hope this quick sit-down lesson was edifying through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy of Yahweh Yahushua. And first and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Wakakadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, pushing this word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, pushing the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, that be like unto the speckled bird, pushing the word truthfully and sincerely. And until next time, I will say Shabbat, Shalom, and a ball.